Everybody that's we're going to line. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Alex Shore. My family has lived in this valley for 70 years, and I've been to probably hundreds of community meetings like this over the last few years. In many of those meetings, you hear opposition like we're hearing tonight. And unfortunately, if you say not in this neighborhood, not in my neighborhood, if that happens in every neighborhood in Silicon Valley, it only exacerbates the housing crisis. So we can't continue the patterns of opposing development anywhere, because if that happens everywhere, we will all be unable to solve the crisis that unifies even those who are opposed to it, which is building housing so everyone has shelter and a place to live in our community.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I used to live in this neighborhood. I'm a renter. Any renters? Very few. Thank you. Very few. And I'm heartbroken, and I was totally dismayed and distressed that I just found out about this. And I wish I had more notice. I wish everyone had more notice. I'm afraid you have to understand these things take time. I still imagine we're going to lose, and I also believe that there's the number of units is too high for this space. The community won't accept it. So it's just a heartbreak all around, but my biggest dismay is for the people who have roots here and who aren't blown around with the wind like the rest of us are and can't even imagine. They should be fighting and pushing for housing for low-income and very low-income people. And all they do is, mind their own business and then complain when someone comes along.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I live in Santa Clara and have since 1985. Prior to that, Sunnyvale. I have one question I'd like an answer to. Who will be voting yes or no on this project?
Hi, my name is Akshi. I'm a middle schooler who lives on Wood Duck, very close to the site. I think the main concern most of us have is the children of the neighborhood, because I know a lot of kids that walk to and from Laurelwood and Peterson very often, also to parks, other like Starbucks, everything. I'm just very concerned that something could happen to us kids.
One is, where are the other studies for other locations? And number two is 80 parking spots for 124 is too little. There's staff and all of that. And also, just from experience, knowing a few people that have mental illness, they will not go to Lawrence, wait for the light, cross the light on Benton, to go to the liquor store or to go to 7-Eleven. They will just cross right on Benton. They don't have the patience for a light. So, thank you.
Sure, I just have two comments. So first comment I want to speak to everybody is supporting to this. First, I'm opposing to this. So for us who opposing to this, we understand probably for homeless who is even have a crime history, 80% or 90% of people is actually good people. They will return to their normal life. But what we were concerning about is the 10 people or 20% of people. And for those who don't concern about it, I salute for your big heart, but you cannot require the big heart for everybody, because one single one of the accident can just break a whole family. And for the second thing about this is the crime usually happens in the next proximity of the criminal where it was. It's the majority of the time. The surgeon can probably speak about that as well. So that's research on that. So the thing is, we're gathering a lot of people in the same location, and we're trying to probably the crime rate will potentially increase because of there's 10% of people. And we need, if we actually do it, we need that.
Hi,
Hi, my name is Melinda. I'm a 10-year renter in the neighborhood. I'm in favor of this proposal. I hear your concern about your children. As a mother, I'm telling you that it's not difficult to explain homelessness to your children. I've done it myself. You tell them with age-appropriate language that the building is for people who don't have a home until they can find a home. Your kids will understand and will be more empathetic for it. The proposed location is ideal for this facility. It's only used 2 months out of the year, it's paid for, and there are plenty of other places in the county where you can get pumpkins and see Santa. Considering that many who would be living in this building might not have a car, it's important that they can find what they need within walking distance. Within about a mile, there is access to grocery stores, convenience stores, fast food, parks, and Kaiser. Just a little bit further is a library and a pharmacy. Putting a facility like this in an industrial...
Hi, my name is Lynn. I lived on Butcher Drive for 40 years and in Santa Clara since 1973. This is a bad place to put this. Sell the lot, buy 2 big buildings out in an industrial area with big parking lots. I don't want, not all the homeless are bad people. And I think there's a transition house on Schaefer that has never been a problem. But you have to, I don't live on Schaefer, so I don't know. Anyhow, so choosing the people and having a barrier to entry that is at least reasonable is a good idea. That's it.
Take the last one. Sir, did you speak already?
Okay, thank you.
But did you speak already? Yes. So, we're only taking one. I believe that's it.
Okay, so thank you so much. My name is Wayne. I live on Pomeroy. I just moved in last year, and I voted against this project strongly. And I guess I don't have to list another reason to oppose it. I guess I just want to say to folks that make sure that you call the city council members directly, because these committees, they compile all the feedbacks. They can choose whatever they want the council to see. So make sure you call the council members directly, and also with the and we make mistakes, and we can still do those. So make sure your voice is heard. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kate. I live in nearby. So back to the very first question. With all this majority opposed to this project, will this be stopped? Or what we can do to stop this? So 6 Santa Clara City Council member and the mayor can say no to this, right? If they cannot represent us, we will vote them down.
Hi, my name is Eva. I want to share some of my own feelings. As a girl living in this community, I already feel very unsafe of the break-ins and the massive floods and all of this happening around us. I even don't have a dog like the previous gentleman at home. So I'd like to say, I am opposing to this, and to people who ask us to be compassionate for those people. Can you feel compassionate for us to feel safe and supported by the community? And it's really the only most important thing for a human being, that is our own safety. I'd love to help the homeless by donating money or being volunteers, but I don't want to sacrifice my own safety. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to move out of the country because of this. A home needs to be safe in order to be home. Thank you.
Hi, I just want to make sure that everybody had a chance to get my phone number down because I want to answer a lot of these questions. If there's anything that's public safety related, if you have any questions just about just in general what's going on with crime, homelessness, whatever, this is why the community response team at the police department exists. So if anybody's interested in calling me, I guarantee I'll get back to you. I will give you an answer. We will have that discussion. So if anybody cares for it, my number is 408-615-4745. That's my desk line. It's 408-615-4745. and we'll have those discussions without the time constraints. Thanks. It's Sergeant Deeger.
Thank you, Sergeant. Can we put the map up? And to give you the number, there are 4 schools within 1.5 miles of the property. 1 high school, 1 middle school, 2 elementaries, and the private schools. So I realize the map is small. We're going to post it and email it. But the icons on the right show you the different type of schools that we looked at, from middle school, high school, childcare, libraries, and the parcel you can see on the left-hand side. We'll leave this up. And then at this time, I did want to invite Vice Mayor Park, who would like to say a few words before we wrap up with next steps.
And daycare? That number goes up double.
To clarify, everybody, the number that I gave you is within 1.5. This shows you a farther distance. Just wanted to give you we looked at, what is around 1.5. We mentioned yes. Thank you.
Kevin and I are both here. My name is Karen Hardy. I'm on the city council. And I want you to understand that we're here just to listen. We don't know at this time how much say-so we will have because the county does own this. I will say also, when you talk about schools, we have designed Santa Clara so there's no place you're really that far away from the school on purpose, and parks. And I work at the high school. I obviously care about children. I'm a grandparent. I raised my kids here. So we want you to know that we really want you to understand that we're listening, but we also have some limitations. We're going to find out about that, okay? We don't know. The council will be briefed in April. But I will say, since we're in a church, and I am a Christian, Matthew 25:40. So I want you have to be understanding to each other, even if you disagree on things. There's no reason to be disagreeable. Even if you disagree, you're listening and we're just taking it into consideration. That's why we're here.
So I want to say a couple things. I'm Kevin Park, and I'm the Vice Mayor of Santa Clara right now. I'm also a resident. This is my district. I've lived here for over 25 years. I have a 6-year-old daughter who goes to the school in this area. If you want to know how I vote, you want to know how I think, you can look at every single city council vote that I've ever had. You can also look at years, literally years, of going to planning commission meetings and city council meetings. I will say this very, very loudly. I have probably gone to more city council meetings and planning commission meetings on my own time than anyone in this city. Right? No one is more serious about the city and my neighborhood and my daughter and my schools than I am. At the same time, I'm an engineer, right? And when you say, what does an engineer do? I try to get ahead of the problem. So I want everyone to know, I sent out notification for the first meeting the minute that I knew that there was a meeting planned, I sent out notification. And if people read that, I got calls almost immediately because I sent that notification out. Because I wanted everyone, I knew about the issues. I voted on White Oak. You can see how I voted there. You can see my reasons. Right? My issue is not voting yes or no. My issue is I have to find findings to vote yes or no. Does that make sense? You don't just say yes or no because that's how you feel. Otherwise, there'd be a lot of things that didn't get done just because I didn't like it.
But can you give us data to make decisions?
I'm saying what we can do, and again, when we tell you that when Councilmember Hardy and I tell you that we cannot vote, or we cannot give you opinions on the project, this is real. We cannot tell you how we feel about a project that we are going to vote on. That's illegal. So what I will do, and what I have done, I know a lot of people here have talked to me in person. We've set up neighborhood meetings. Somebody asked, will you come to neighborhood meetings? I'll go to every single neighborhood meeting that you invite me to. And I will. And anyone who knows me knows that this is true. I will do this. You know, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to vote, but I will tell you this. I'm an engineer. I want to solve the problems in our community. You have problems? I don't think anyone has talked to more homeless people in the last year than I have. If not in our neighborhood. Every 2 to 3 months, I walk the creeks, Calabasas, Stevens Creek, all the way down to Stevens Creek. I walk all the creeks. My council cell phone has names and numbers and sometimes email addresses of every single homeless person that I meet. And I'll tell you, after 2 months, I can't contact any of them. Like, I have so many numbers here that after 2 months, I would say everyone, I can no longer contact them. Their phones no longer pick up, no longer go through, and I don't see them on the streets. I want you to think about that. Like my daughter, we had a discussion this morning. I want to start walking her to school. And I wouldn't do that if I didn't feel safe, right? And I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't tell you to do that if I didn't feel that your family was safe, because literally, I am the only person on city council right now that has a toddler going to school. I think that a lot of people who had children or don't have children, they've forgotten what it's like to be a paranoid parent and worry about every single thing that your daughter does or your son does or does not do, and all the dangers, right? So if you feel unsafe, you 100% better understand that I feel unsafe too. But I want to tell you something. Okay, and I understand that, so we will talk to them, and I will do as much as I can, and everyone who has ever worked with me knows I am trying to find a good answer for the residents.
Affordable housing.
And affordable housing, everyone should know my views on affordable housing. There's no such thing as affordable housing. There's no such thing as affordable housing. Affordable housing is based on AMI, the area median income, and the area median income is like $160,000. The people that need housing don't make anywhere near that. And if they're renting doesn't give people affordable housing. Renting actually squeezes the money from renters that they could have used to put down a down payment. For all the people that have homes, all the people that have mortgages, you know if you can avoid an adjustable rate mortgage, you get a fixed cost for 30 years. During the last campaign, I met a number of people who had been renting for 30, 32 years, 36 years or more. And 32, 36 years later, they're being forced out because the homeowner wants to sell, or the homeowner passed away and their children want to sell. And now, over 30 years later, instead of owning a house, they are further away from home ownership than they were 30 years ago if they could have afforded a down payment.
We're not against shelters, it's just a location.
But listen. So somebody asked me about these things, so I'm trying to address it. This is why we can't just address every single thing, because if we start to answer questions, then this is what happens. Everyone has more questions. So you know my email address. And I'm going to say, if you have any doubts, talk to me. Don't assume, talk to me. At the end of the day, I'm an engineer, and I would like to look at how we can find a homeless, how we can fix the homeless problem. And I'm going to say this. If we're looking for a solution, I don't want to... Okay, and tell me if this is true. If you're an engineer, tell me that this is true. When somebody gives you a problem, your answer isn't just no. Your answer is, what can we do to fix that problem?
You need to talk to designer, engineer, designer. A good will does not mean that the product is legal. It's right. You need to work with designer.
Okay, and so again, I'm not going to tell you if there are problems with this project. I'm going to tell you what to do. You tell them what kind of project you would like. But I'll say this. If you're an engineer and somebody gives you a problem, your answer isn't no. Your answer is, this is how you can fix this problem. Right? And if you're not thinking about what we can do here, if all you're thinking about is no, then I think we really need to get beyond this and start thinking about what do you want here? So I'm going to end here because, again, like at some point you need to be respectful of the people's time and our time as well, right? If it's close to your houses, it's close to my house too. I want you to understand that. I don't have a lower standard than any of you out there, right? But I will say, we'll ask for more time, we'll try to get something, but again, if no is the only thing that you have to say, I don't think that we're going far enough. Thank you, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, the materials will be posted on the website. We will see you here on the 9th, same style.